Hello, and welcome back to Oolykee Gaming, and welcome back to Surviving Mars Green Planet, and welcome back to reviewing of the mission sponsors. In this episode we're gonna be reviewing Almighty Russia. Since I've been playing with Russia for a while now, I have to tell you there are a couple of really important and really good things about Russia. In-game, Russia is classified as a hard nation to play with, but I found it to be one of the easiest ones. If you follow these easy steps and watch this review, I'm gonna tell you how to master playing with Russia. First, let's go in and review the difficulty level and all the bonuses and negative stuff Russia has. First things first, funding 5 billion. 5 billion is not the lowest any country has. It's perfectly fine to start with. Starting applicants being 100, it's also in the medium difficulty range. Research per soul, 200. Trust me, this is perfectly fine and enough to start with. Some countries, some sponsors, like International Mars Mission, USA, some other have much more research, but having 200 initial research, it's perfectly fine. Now down to the negative side. Rare metal price is only 22 million. Going all the way up to 35 million with Brazil, having 22 million with Russia, and the lowest being 20 million, that's not ideal. But Russia has a huge advantage. RC Driller is one of the best things I saw in this game. RC Driller is a remote control driller that I usually bring in first or second wave of dispatches to Mars. RC Driller can extract resources from underground deposits, but waste some of it. So it can extract metals and rare metals straight from the get-go. Straight from get-go you can start exporting. Even with your first rocket back to Earth, you can start selling the rare metals. Downside is it's about 50% or exactly 50% of all the resources are wasted. Which actually I didn't find that much troubling, especially if you concentrate on researching a mohole. Mohole will give you practically unlimited metals and rare metals. Next huge thing about Russia is concrete plant. Other nations have to research practically the whole technology tech tree to get to this. Russia has it from the beginning. It's a concrete plant. It's automated extractor that produces concrete without the need of a deposit but consumes fuel. So technically, if you have a fuel production, you can build this bad boy and never again worry about concrete. Now, another huge benefit about playing with Russia, bonus tech, fuel extractors. If you have fuel and you need that little bit of extra juice from your water sources or your metal extractors or your concrete extractors, guess what? You can upgrade it to fuel extractors for free. And if you have fuel, you just deliver that fuel or your drones will do that for you. You get that extra little bit of juice for your colony. Another huge bonus with Russia and fuel is the fuel refinery prefabs cost 50% less for them than for anybody else. So fuel shouldn't be a problem. Thus, fuel extractors should work perfectly fine. Now, one more drawback that Russia has next to having a rare metal price of 22 million and RC Driller wasting some of the deposits, some of the resources, actually 50% of them, is rockets have extended travel time. Again, this is not really a drawback because if you plan right, this is not an issue. So for me, Russia should be out there at medium, if not even the easy country to play with. If you organize yourself well, you're gonna be reaping the profits. When I play, I usually play on random while playing with any nation. I just like surprises from time to time. But if you feel that your Russia sponsor needs a little bit of a boost, try this. Go for Oligarch. Oligarch has a fuel production extra 25%, which is you're gonna be swimming in fuel. Plus it has a bonus tech of archaeology, where you can start building high quality homes straight from the beginning. Let me show you real quickly how ideal start with Russia could look like. Prefab buildings, we're gonna get Stirling generator, fuel refinery, and moisture vapor. And we're gonna get the driller just to get you started with all those rare metals, a decent amount of drones, all the standard machine parts, electronics and polymers, and a couple of orbital probes just to find that rare earths that we need for starting this beautiful colony. Welcome to Mars, everybody. Here we go. Usually I take extremely random place where I'm gonna land, and in this case we have this. Now, pre-tip number one. This is something that you should know in the game. Probably most of you already know it, but I'm just gonna repeat it. So every time you see somewhere deposit that it states metals, here we have concrete and metals. You're gonna get metals, you're gonna get surface metals, or you're gonna get rare metals, or it can be deep metal underground that is being detected by surface scan. So for example, we scanned two areas. It stated metals here, we got nothing here. Stated metals here, we have surface metals and underground metals. We have metals here, here we go, we have rare metal deposit. We have metals here, which is another rare metal deposit. We have metals here, which is only surface metals. Maybe some of these places could have the underground deep metal source, but unfortunately we can't scan it yet. And let's do the third one. Now, guys, I'm just gonna put a disclosure statement on this case. I'm not doing any research. I'm not scanning any additional areas. This is just how to quickly start with your sponsor as Russia, so we can start producing fuel, water, concrete, and collect as many metals as we have on the surface. Okay, so tip number one, time is money, don't waste it. So you have a pause button, usually it's space button, use it, press space button, just don't waste time. Tip number two, land your rocket within engulfing as much surface metal deposit as possible. In this case, we want to engulf this one as well as 3 of these here. So ideally I would land the rocket here that is really close to those metal deposits, but in this case I'm gonna play fair, like we're planning a long-term exploration, and I'm gonna place it here, which is also gonna be within the range of our rare metal deposit, which is important, so your drones can load the rocket. As soon as your rocket is landed and first vehicle is out, send it straight away to go and do the job. It's not wasting any energy, it's not wasting any money, just go and start digging. You're gonna need all of those resources. You have 2 of those, this one is further away, you can always send your drones to go when this one is depleted. By the time this one is depleted, you're gonna have already population living on Mars. Now, tip number 3. Number 1 was time is money, don't waste it. Second one, land your rocket that is engulfing as much of surface metals as possible, as well as your rare metal deposit. So, tip number 3, time is money, don't waste it. I'm gonna repeat this several times. Pause it, create your colony, create how you want it to look right now. So, we need metal extractor. We need the concrete extractor. So let's see here, we have a concrete extractor. It's not a priority to build that one. We need to start producing fuel, but we can still lay out how it's gonna look like. So let's put it like this. We're not gonna waste any, this is not gonna look pretty. This is just gonna create a lot of fuel for us. This is gonna create a lot of concrete for us. Second thing, we need a stirring generator. We're just gonna put it outside of the range of the dust, so it would be somewhere around here. So I would reckon that this is the best place for it. Next thing, we're gonna place the moisture vapor. Oh, that was a little bit bad positioning on my part. Well, this one's a bad positioning as well. When they're connected, they can use cables between themselves. They don't rely on the big major power cable that we have here. Third one, we're gonna go with the refinery. And the fourth one, and don't forget to do this, I always forget it, connect pipes between the moisture vapor, even though they're gonna have cables, power cables going here, water can only go through pipes. Okay, so we have the basics here. We're not gonna speed up any additional development, but bear in mind that you have to place these bad boys as well. We're gonna need solar panels for initial few hours. After that, you can sell them, you can dismantle them, you can do whatever you want with them. But this is important. I'm gonna just slow down the cable production here, because I don't think it's so important to have power cable to start producing fuel. And I'm gonna open Stirling generator, because it's gonna need additional power to run. By the way, we're producing fuel already. So this is what I was telling you about. Time is money. Fuel you're gonna need it as soon as possible. We already have one fuel. It's gonna go directly here. Actually, this one is probably gonna go to the rocket, but we're producing fuel. You can put a higher priority on these ones now because they're gonna be carrying fuel everywhere, and we don't need them to carry fuel everywhere. We need them to finish this. Again, when this is constructed, put it again on a higher priority because then they will deliver this fuel as soon as possible. Cabling, higher priority, everything can be higher priority now. We need this up and running. You still have few hours of sunshine left. This is quite important. Actually, might not even be that important because we have fuel production here and we need power production. Here we go. And here we go. Okay, we have power. We are producing concrete. We have enough fuel there. Next thing, time is money. Don't waste it. We need windmills. Pause. Create 2 windmills. Why? Because they're gonna create additional power that all your equipment can run during the night. Sun is gonna fall soon. We already have 2, 3, probably gonna have even 4 concrete, which is gonna be enough to create one of the wind turbines. We of course have 2. I'm gonna put this one as priority so we don't waste concrete on the second one. And I believe we have enough concrete for the second one as well. Excuse me. Okay, so here we go. This one requires, this one is working, 5 power. Storing generator is creating, there we go. Storing generator is creating enough power for all 3 of them to work, and there you go, guys. In the meantime, what happened here? We already have 6 plus 6, is it 6 plus 6? I believe it's 6 plus 6, 12 rare metals here. I'm gonna remove priority from this one just because I don't want it hogging all the fuel that we create, and we're gonna start pumping fuel into our proton rocket. Now, another disclaimer, I wouldn't start like this. I would definitely be using some of the surface concrete that we have. I will find the surface concrete, and I will be bringing definitely more vehicles to start on the research. I would probably use a water extraction as well rather than these ones, because this can produce additional water. We can then transport it to refineries, but we count on the water source rather than the moisture vapor. It's a different strategy. Every sponsor, you have several approaches that you can take. For me, this is one of the best ones, the fastest ones. Not ideal, but you're not touching any underground resources. You're creating your own water, you're creating your own concrete. You're not having any issues with, well, we have some issues with waste, but not a lot of it. And we already produced enough concrete that we can start the dome production. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. This is a tip and trick how, or newly named TNT, how to quickly start with sponsorship Russia. We are producing concrete, fuel, and we are ready to send first rockets back to Earth. It just needs to be refueled. We're already halfway there. Guys, every rocket back to Earth can be carrying the rare metals. When you start producing electrical parts, or electronics in your domes, I don't sell exports anymore. I use it to create my own electronics. Anyway, guys, that's up to you how you're gonna play in the future, but here you go. Rockets are ready to be sent back to Earth. You have perpetuum mobile of equipment working. You still have to maintain it though. Hope you enjoyed this one. Press the like button. If you didn't, leave a nasty comment in the comment section. Correct me if I'm wrong. Please do. I do accept really well any criticism. Leave a comment in the comment section, notification bell, like, subscribe. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye bye. One other thing I forgot to mention, guys. So, these are mission goals for Russia. You have one big advantage that some other countries don't in this case. So you have deep scanning mission, which gives you 10,000 research. Now, within most of the tech trees, this can be done extremely easily. So if you go to a research screen here, I'm playing on a different map now, but it's all the same. We're just talking about research. In physics, one of the almost always the first one, or quite often the first one, is adapted probes. They're cheaper and they can deep scan. Now, if you go and do this research, and you're gonna have ability to deep scan with your probes, and they're cheaper. They're actually quite cheap. Let me show you what I mean. Probes that can deep scan are actually, I don't have them here unfortunately because I scanned everything. They cost only 50 million each, so that means 2.5 billion for 50 probes. That means you will have that money in the beginning, and also you're going to be getting more money with exporting your rare metals. So this mission can be done within a few days of you landing on Mars. Even the second or third rocket can carry all this 50 probes that can deep scan. So this is going to boost your research hugely. You're going to have like 5 of them, or maybe even a breakthrough, or even several of them if they have them listed in your research screen. It will boost through your research. Second thing, by doing this deep scanning, you will find 8 underground deposits, which will give you 8 free supply pods. Also, if you follow the recipe I provided you with, you're gonna build a second metal extractor. Fuel concrete extractor, so you will get these 50 in a day. You're gonna actually be creating 60 in a day. You're gonna get 6 apartment prefabs as soon as possible, quite fast. Now, the number 3 is extract 200 metals. You can do that with your extractor as well. That's gonna be done in no time. As soon as you stop extracting the rare metals, or if you bring a second extractor, you just concentrate him on for a couple of days. It's gonna extract 200 metals. You're gonna get a reward of 2 billion. Additional 2 billion for your for whatever you need it for. And this is going to be a little bit more tricky. You're going to have to upgrade your extractors to work on 160 performance. This took me a while to do myself, but this is also not that complicated to do. This is another way where you can speed up your research by doing these missions, starting with deep scanning, researching adaptable probes, and then getting this one, building a second concrete extractor, getting the Discover 8 underground deposits, which is 100% you're gonna find it. Producing the 50 concrete. You can do that if you build 2 extractors. Extract 200 metal underground deposit. Whenever you choose to use your driller, that's gonna be done. The only thing that you might take a longer is this one. Have 3 extractors working at 106 performance. But that's up to you guys. Anyway, this is a little rebuttal, additional help, tips and tricks, and hope you like one. Subscribe, like, the notification button, comment in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.